G'day viewers, and welcome to another racing-based preview of this weekend's racing action. We've got 3 Group 1 races coming our way this weekend with the Australian Guineas at Flemington. Then over at Royal Randwick, we've got the Canterbury Stakes and the Randwick Guineas. So to help me find a winner, I've got Rick Chapman on the other line. So Rick, welcome mate, and please tell me you found us a winner.
Yes, I found you a winner. I think we'll find a couple of winners. I think there's a bit of value to be had in those Group 1s as well. And, of course, betting around them in the other races is going to make us...
You sound too convincing there, mate.
Well, I don't have the greatest strike rate. I must say I think you've got a better strike rate in Group 1s. I tend to be a man of maidens. Go back to my university days. No, but...
Yeah, we won't talk about strike rates after last week. Geez, I did a packet on Heatherly. I thought she was one of the best things I'd seen in quite a while and quadrupled my normal bet. So that'll take a while to recover from. But that one's done and dusted. Let's get on to this week, Rick, and kick off with the Australian Guineas at Flemington.
Great race. How good is Extravagant? Well, they say he's another Sunline. If that's the case, he just leads all the way and wins by 4 or 5. But Mahuta scares me because they both go forward horses, and if they take each other on, something's going to give. And I believe my son asked me yesterday, just quite out of the blue, who's going to win the Melbourne Cup this year? And I said, there's a horse called Tarzino. I think he's something special as a stayer. And that stayed in my head, and it started me thinking, if these two take each other on, and we know Mahuta is very, very good and very, very strong, and Weir's horses just keep rolling, it might bring Extravagant unstuck. So I'm going to have, I don't like the race to punt in, but I'll probably have a little bit each way Tarzino, simply because of that theory that these two will go hard, and he's a super horse himself.
Yeah, he rattled home last start, Rick, over an unsuitable trip. So he looks to be in for a big campaign, and I agree with you. If those two take each other on and go a bit too hard, Tarzino is the one that should be flashing home, but I can't go past that Extravagant, Rick. Watching his replays and analysing his times, he is one very special racehorse. And you look at his win in the 2000 Guineas, he smashed the race record, and I mean smashed it. He won by 8 lengths, and we've seen Risque go to David Hayes and Tom Dabernig. She ran on the same day and won the 1000 Guineas. He ran 15 lengths quicker than what she did, and we've seen her come to Australia now and you know win a Group 3 first up over an unsuitable trip as well. So when you look at how much better he is than her on that day, and you know, I think previous winners of that 2000 Guineas, you've got Turn Me Loose, who's won multiple Group 1s over here now. There's some other good horses to come over to Australia after winning that race, and his times were 8 to 10 lengths quicker than theirs. So on that, he looks a really special horse, and if he brings his A game, he just wins by 5.
Well, that's just it. I tend to agree with you, with the exception of the Mahuta factor. If he's in it on his own without that other speed horse in it, he gets to sit in front and dictate, and that speed will carry him to great heights. But Mahuta is very strong, and those Weir horses just keep going. I worry. I just worry if they both go hammer and tong early. As I said, I won't have a big bet in that race.
Interestingly, he got taken on last time, Rick, too. In that 2000 Guineas, he was going forward and another horse really pushed him for the lead. So he had to work, and you'd think he would have been softened up there. But to kick and put 8 lengths on him in the straight and smash that track record, he's one out of the box. So, you know.
Yes, I don't doubt that, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he beats his field by 5 or 6. But that horse that took him on in New Zealand last start is no Mahuta. He's an exceptional horse, Mahuta. In fact, I tip him to win this as a special if Extravagant's not in the race. And that's the thing. There's 2 speed horses, and they're going to cancel each other out, I think. But Extravagant might be Sunline and just, all right, I don't care about you, I'll dominate you. If that's the case, then yeah, he does win. But great race.
Yeah, well, he beat Vespa by 8 again last start, Rick. So she's a Group 1 winner in New Zealand and a very consistent type. So you know, the form's got to be respected. So I'm going for Extravagant. Are you sticking with him, or are you going Tarzino, mate?
I'm going Tarzino because 9 times out of 10, 2 speed horses will hurt each other.
Okay, well, that's that one settled for us, Rick. Over to Royal Randwick, Canterbury Stakes. How do you see that one playing out?
I think this is a great race. I think this is a real intellectual race. The theory is that our boy Malachi will go hard and lead, and we saw at Randwick last week. I was out there. If you turn the corner in front, then you win. You look at the race and you think our boy Malachi is the sprinter. He will lead them and lead them on his ear. But here's a horse who has a history of bleeding when he's put under pressure, and he's going to take on Holler, whose best form has always been to go forward. And the same thing we just saw that I described in the race down in Melbourne. If Holler takes our boy Malachi on early, the back markers will come into this. I saw Kermadec trial and gallop between races at Randwick last week, and he's back I think 2 or 3 lengths better than he was. I know there's a bit short for him, but at $7.50, I'm going to be all over Kermadec simply because I think our boy Malachi has got an Achilles heel, and it will be found out by Holler taking him on early. And Kermadec, Huey Bowman comes off the fence and just rattles past them. Great race. Love to see Criterion return well too. First Seal, outstanding performance first up, but in much, much weaker grade than this. So I just question whether second up she's going to be able to produce that same finishing burst. So I'm on Kermadec, and not at all surprised to see First Seal Criterion flash home too.
Yeah, blinkers go on Kermadec for the first time too, Rick, and you got to wonder what the ploy is there, whether they want him to go for that first up win, or whether this is just a trial for something later.
Well, it's clearly a trial for something later, but it's a Group 1 race too, and the horse is outstanding. The horse is one of the best horses in the country, and we overlook that fact because we've got Press Statement and Winks who are vying for the top job as well. Winks is clearly the best horse in the land, but this horse is outstanding, Kermadec, and he just looked a ball of muscle galloping between horses the other day, between races the other day. Anyway, we shall see. Our boy Malachi, great speed horse. If Holler's not in the race, I think our boy Malachi can roll along and lead all the way. But the Godolphin's mad if they sit back on Holler because he just won't beat this field. His only chance is to go forward and take our boy Malachi on.
And you've got Ecuador that might go forward as well, Rick.
Ecuador, 3 group placings from 4 starts at Randwick. Loves it. Gay's horses love going forward. I said in my story earlier that he's going to be a factor too. He's not a front runner though at the shorter distances, Ecuador, but he's certainly going to put speed into the race too.
Yeah, well, and you mentioned Criterion too. Ricky ran 3rd in this race last year. He was only 1.3 lengths off the winner, so he could surprise and run a cracking race. But I'm sticking with our boy Malachi. I think, and it's the fact that Solicit, he belted her by 3, and she's come out, finished 2nd to Winks, got closer to Winks than she did our boy Malachi, and then also broke the race record last start. So I think the form stacks up well, and it's just, I think the question with our boy Malachi is whether he gets that 1300 as strong as he does 1200. But I'm gonna stick with him and go for our boy Malachi.
Well, he got slaughtered when he was under pressure in that Doomben race over 1350. So anyway, yeah, different opinions what make prices good.
And he bled in that race, Rick. The Doomben one, Doomben 10,000.
That's right, and that's why I go back to that. Having homed a bleeder, you're always worried if they get taken on early whether they're going to bleed again, and because you never get over being a bleeder.
No, that's right. All right, well, that's that one sorted for us. What about the feature in Sydney, the Randwick Guineas?
Press Statement wins by 3. End of story.
Yep, agreed.
The
only thing I've been tossing up, Rick, is how far to take him by, like the best way to back him. And I've been checking out Ladbrokes. They have the boost your odds by increasing your margin, and they haven't got a market up there yet, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But I was hoping to maybe just take him by 2 lengths or more and increase the odds.
Oh, get on. If you get $2.10 or more, that's just that's a goldmine bet. My big bet will be the Exacta. I think Montaigne runs 2nd. I think it's an exciting horse, this. So if I can get, and I believe I will, about 450, the Exacta Press Statement to beat Montaigne, possibly even more, then I think that's a good bet because he's an exciting horse. But Press Statement is if he stays racing, which he won't, he'll go to stud at the end of this year. But if he were to stay racing, he is Winx's heir apparent. He is just so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'd think. And, you know, he's drawn wide in barrier 12, but interestingly, 2 of the past 4 winners have jumped from that same gate. So you wouldn't think that's a detractor. And he's $1.50 with most corporates, Rick. And if you can get better than that, I think you're doing well.
Oh, if you get better than that, get on. He drew deep at that Caulfield race too and just smashed them, didn't he? So.
Yeah, well, he went to the lead there, and that was his grand final. So I think they could afford to burn him up a bit and send him to the lead. Where I don't know if they'll take that same ploy here, Rick. It's just, you know, he's got bigger fish to fry later in the carnival. So, but he should still be too good.
Yeah, he's a better horse this time around than last time too. So, yeah. So there it is. 3 Group 1 races. We've only agreed on one of them.
Yeah, and that's the shortest one. So there we go. All right. Best of luck to everyone watching. Hope you can back some winners on Saturday, and hopefully I get 3 Group 1 winners and you get 1, Rick.
Yeah, there you go. Ditto.
Yep. All right. Thanks for your help, mate, and I'll see you next week.
Pleasure. All the best, everybody. Punting's easy, remember. Have fun.
Yep. Good luck, everyone. Bye.